Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Wow. Big day yesterday. Nvidia reported. Ryan and I were on for the earnings call. I think the earnings call was upbeat and all that kind of stuff. And still looking at NVDL. I'm up on NVDL today. It's still higher than it was yesterday. Looks like it went up. It looks like the first two bars, as Joey was bringing to my attention, the first two 1-minute bars did go down, but then the stock rebounded. And again, we are going to look at it today. But there's a compelling story behind Nvidia. In my mind, Nvidia silenced the critics. Even though Wall Street thought that it should have been this, that, and the other thing, Nvidia said, shut your mouth. We made a lot of money, and we still got a lot of upside to the stock. And that, in my mind, that's what I think. Now, Michelle says SMCI. I'm going to talk about SMCI today. SMCI could actually be setting up as a bottom fishing play. They got out and they got a new auditor. They have a plan in place to stay listed. SMCI is really coming to my attention as an opportunity to buy. But the other side of it is they still have to reconcile the books. Even with a new auditor, they still have to reconcile the books. So I didn't Jazz. Jazz said I did a small order with SMCI. I haven't touched it yet, but it is definitely on my radar. It is definitely on where, a week ago, I wouldn't touch it. But now it is definitely on my radar, and SMCI will be a topic of discussion today. Absolutely. Look for the Nvidia pin action on partners and suppliers. Guess what, Fitz? I've got a portfolio of their partners, of the people who are dealing with Nvidia, and they are doing well. The portfolio as a whole is doing well. So, and you know what else is a big topic today? Crypto. I'm actually moving away from crypto. Did you know that the president of Coinbase is being considered as a crypto czar? Type of 1 in the room if you knew that. Type of 2 in the room if you did not know that. All right, type of 1 in the room if you knew that. Type of 2 in the room if you did not know that. Bringing that to the forefront. Crypto may really have some legs. So, wow, a lot of 2s. That's excellent. So I got a story on that as well. Today is going to be chock full of a lot of the stuff that's happening in the market right now because it's moving. All right, and you need to make decisions on what to do. Now that Nvidia is reported, what now? That is the alert today. What now? What do you do now? And that's what we're going to talk about. Mara, I am still not a fan of the miners just quite yet, Jazz, which is why I added in my real world portfolio, I added more to my iBit. I am still a fan of Bitcoin itself and the ETFs that deal with it in the VectorVest software. All right, so we're looking at what's going on in the market after Nvidia reported. A lot of yellow now, 1 green. We're coming off of all of the reds at the bottom. MSTX is in my list today as well. Man, there's a lot of the stuff that you're bringing to the table are things that we will look at today. I'm just really honing in on opportunities for you guys. The big thing with MicroStrategy is that they went and bought all that Bitcoin. They bought $4.8 billion worth of Bitcoin. And then, what else comes to mind with all of this AI stuff and all this Bitcoin stuff and blah, 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 blah. My portfolio of uranium stocks. More and more you're going to see a lot of these AI companies, especially as the supercomputers come into play and all of the stuff that Nvidia is doing with GPUs. They need the power. Uranium and nuclear power, I still think is just barely scraping the surface right now. Why tech stocks being sold today, says Alfreda. I think a lot of people are taking profits on some of those stocks. Deep sigh of release after last night. Time for Santa. And I think the Santa rally is going to be in play. I'm going to move over to the program, and we're going to start off with market timing. Look at today's move. I got a level of resistance here that was sitting at 72, let's just call it $73. We jumped above it. All right, bouncing off support. Remember, when we're looking at the VectorVest composite, we're looking at the move of over 9,000 stocks. As I look, that's a nice bullish run, bullish move, not a run yet, off support. And Ryan and I both said last night that the Santa rally may be in time, might be going on. Time to for sell Coinbase. Ooh, you know something? Let's talk about that real quick. When I sell Coinbase, I'm going to bring up some of the crypto stocks. MSTX, Coin Mara, MSTX. I don't know if we have FBTC. We do have. All right, I'm just looking. So let's take a look at them real quick. Coinbase, would I sell it? Not yet. I do have a level of a gap right here. It started fading the gap. It's right there. Look at the wick rebounding past this level of 298.67. Look at that. Big buy bar at the bottom of this candle, even though it's red. 1 day off the 3-month high. It is overvalued. RT is above 1. Earnings per share doesn't look all that pretty. But again, the whole crypto space, a lot of people have their eyes on the crypto space. Mara, you notice that when I look at the miners are a lot more volatile than looking at something like IBIT. I need to put that up there as well. IBIT, I'll put that up there. But the miners are a lot more volatile. Will they give you those opportunities? Absolutely. A lot of buying pressure here. A few days, a week or so off of the high. I don't like the earnings per share, but I'm not really paying long-term to this. I'm watching this as the news is moving this. Coinbase, we just looked at. Let's go to, wow, FBTC, currency. Look at that. That looks beautiful. All right, that looks beautiful. Just rising to the top. Anybody say, give me what you got, give me what you got. Ain't no half-stepping right here. All right, trading right at the session highs today. No wick at the top. I'm not going to look at Riot. I'm just going to look at one of them, and that would be Mara. I'm going to look at one of them. That would be Mara. Mara and Riot are both miners. MSTX, big down today, filling the gap. A little bit of selling. Well, actually, that could have been a shooting star with follow-through. I'd be careful with MSTX, but I guess the main underline would be MSTR, right? And the last stock in here is IBIT. Again, I added to my IBIT. I'm loving that trading at the session highs. I'm going to add one more stock before we get started. Let's go look at NVIDIA. I'm in NVDL, NVDA. Let's go look at the both of those. In my NVDL, I'm still higher than the close yesterday. A lot of selling pressure and a lot of buying pressure. I got a spinning top going on right here. I got a solid level of resistance by looking at the bodies, sitting right about 85.33. It's trading at 81.80. I'd like to see if we can get above that. I did hold through earnings, and I'm still sitting okay. I'm still sitting okay. What is the best way to sell an undervalued stock? Use some kind of a trailing stop, but if it's a good undervalued stop, I'd give it a lot more room to the bottom. I'd give it about 15% as a trailing stop, which means it'll trail 15% from the highest point that the stock has hit. So if I'm in a good undervalued stock, because it's undervalued, I'm going to give it a little bit more room. I might even bump that up to about 20%. All right. And I'm willing to give up 20% on a good undervalued stock because it's going to have a higher probability of moving up to meet its value. So that's the way I would look at that, Johnny. I need to give those longer-term undervalued stocks a little bit more room, and I'd look at a 15, possibly a 20% trail on those stocks. A Fox says they don't know anything about Dougie. Well, I'm not going to say they. I can't. You know something? You can't judge a book by its cover. You just can't do it. You just SoFi I own. I'm up 43% on SoFi. All right, Snowflakes is on the run. Snowflake is on the run right now. So, all right, so we're talking about, wow, we got a new subscriber. Thank you for that. We're talking about a lot of different stocks. A lot of these stocks are on my radar today. Small nuclear reactor going crazy. NNEOKLO. You know what else is up? SMR. Go look at SMR. We're going to take a look at some of that portfolio as well. All right, let's go get into the news. All right, let's get into, man, you guys got this, you got this party started. Let's get it started in here and running and running and running and running. Here's the stocks. They're going up. Look at me. I don't give a, what? Can't say that. Whoa, can't say that. All right. Always like to start off with some news, what's going on in the market. Jobless claims fall to a 7th-month low, show labor market trending sideways at a healthy level. I did ask the question in one of the live streams, was either yesterday or on Monday. I did ask the question of if the job market is good and the economy is okay, do we get a cut in December? I don't think he has the ability. Well, I don't know if he's got the wherewithal to still cut in December. We'll see. Now, another big news. Google must sell Chrome to restore competition in online search, the Department of Justice says. Now, I could say a lot of stuff about the Department of Justice, but this ain't the place for me to say anything about the Department of Justice except for they say that Google has to sell Chrome. That's big, and that's going to hurt Google, as you're going to see today, that it is. Google must sell its Chrome browser, share data and search results with rivals, and take other measures, including possibly selling Android. Whoa, that's going to be a huge blow to Google. Google's unlawful behavior has deprived rivals, this ain't the place, not only of critical distribution channels, but also distribution partners who could otherwise enable entry into these markets by competitors in new and innovative ways. Okay, Google versus the Department of Justice. What is the impact of the proposed action? Divestiture of Chrome and Android. Now, the thing is, who buys them? Or do they become their own entity someplace else within the sphere of stocks? Data sharing and distribution changes, search and advertising market reforms. You know that browsers get a lot of money from ads, right? Limiting Google's influence in AI. Ooh. Fitz says spin it off. Okay. The breakups, the most eye-catching element of the DOJ's proposal is undoubtedly a forced sale of Google's Chrome browser. And not just the Chrome browser itself, but all of its APIs, software for open source Chromium project, which underpins many other browsers, including Edge from Microsoft, Samsung Internet Browser, DuckDuckGo, and Opera. I use Safari. Well, because I'm an Apple guy. So I'm not part of all of this, but this is going to be a big thing. Will Trump coming into affect that Google ruling? I don't know. I have no idea if it does or not, does not, but I think this is a story that everybody's got to keep their eyes on. All right. George says, what about PFE? Interesting thing about PFE is you look at the companies that put out the vaccines for COVID, they're hurting now because of lack of COVID sales for vaccines. So PFE, NVAX, BioNTech, Eli Lilly, a lot of those companies are feeling the effect of not being able to sell COVID vaccines. All right. Nvidia reports solid Q3 results. Guidance underwhelms lofty expectations. If you saw a couple of weeks ago, I did put out an Nvidia video that talked specifically about the high expectations for Nvidia and could they match up. And, you know, I got what I want to say about Wall Street, but I think that people are going to sit back and just take account that Nvidia killed it. I think that people are going to say, but wait a minute. The lofty expectations, they underwhelmed. Did you see that revenues were up 94%? You listen to the earnings call, the guidance is that Blackwell is in full production, and that they're going to sell more Blackwell units than they thought that they would. So the forward guidance was no joke as well. And I think that the average investor, the retail investor, is going to sit back and go, wait a minute. Are you guys crazy? Nvidia killed it. Now, at some point, you're going to have to say to yourself, how high can Nvidia go? And, if they missed underwhelmed lofty expectations now, you think that going forward, they're going to continue, even though they're growing. Interesting. Very interesting. What do you think of ILLR that has hired previous TikTok head of... I haven't looked at it, Jesse, so I can't give an answer. I can't give an answer because I don't know much about it. Blackwell ramp and Hopper's still growing. You know something? They did talk about that even with the chips getting hot, that Hopper is still there. I think that Nvidia is standing on solid ground right now. Results are positive for Dell. Told you Dell was something that's on my radar. Nvidia's strong results and guidance bode well for the continued strength of enterprise artificial intelligence demand, notably benefiting Dell. Specifically, during the call, management noted strong traction of AI in enterprise environments, with a full-year AI enterprise revenues to more than double from last year, with the pipeline continuing to build. Dell could be coming into its own. Now, the interesting thing about companies like Dell and Snowflake and a lot of other companies that are dealing with NVIDIA, I think that they're riding the coattails of NVIDIA. Those companies are also doing well, and I think that bodes well for NVIDIA still standing on solid ground. Now, here's the super micro. Here's a story that says a calculated risk worth taking. And we'll get there. At some point, I don't know if I had Snowflake today. I'm going to have to write that down. I don't think I had it as a news story, but it is in a portfolio that are other companies that are partnering with NVIDIA. We're going to show that portfolio. Supermicro offers a compelling risk-reward opportunity driven by what? Strong growth, discounted valuation. Supermicro got beat up so much that it is now undervalued in the VectorVest system, and potential regulatory resolution despite recent volatility. All right. Daniel says that's a blog. Were you talking about this one right here? Yes, and this is on a person. That's absolutely right. But Daniel, when I go to look at the stock, I'm going to show you where this blog, where this news, however you want to look at it. A lot of the stuff that I look at are blogs, and they are by a person. Doesn't always mean that I stand on that, but I use the VectorVest software to back it up. Does that make sense, Daniel? So I will back it up in the VectorVest software. I'm looking at the blog, the news, however you want to look at it, but I'm going to back this up in the VectorVest software, or not, right? All right. With that being said, Bitcoin climbs closer to 100,000 on Trump's support for crypto. Fueled by optimism that the president-elect Donald Trump's support for crypto heralds a boom as U.S. pivots to friendly regulations in place of the crackdown. What did Robert Cooper say? I have a stop loss on SMCI, but I'm up $60,000 this week on that one alone. That is a nice call. Again, I know when we looked at the Super Micro, you looked at it as a blog more so than a news story, but a lot of the blogs that are out there will present a case, and all I'm going to do is look at the VectorVest software to either substantiate the case or shoot down the case. Daniel, does that make sense? That's how I do this. All right, MSTX, take the risk. make the gains. As you look at MSTX today, big move to the downside. Again, another blog person, and Daniel says, meh, okay. I'm just putting it out there, tied to MicroStrategy, and Bitcoin offers high potential returns, but carries what? Significant risk due to leverage and Bitcoin volatility. All right, so that's on MSTX. Another on MSTX now this is, again, I'm with you, Daniel. I just want you to know that MicroStrategy could be a multi-trillion-dollar company. I'm not sure I'm going that far with MicroStrategy. I don't think that I'm going that far. Daniel says a lot of your sources could have ulterior motives than accurate reporting. Again, Daniel, that's why I take all of these stocks that I'm looking at and I look at them in the VectorVest software to take away whatever the underpinnings are on the individuals. All right, and the last story, focus on Walmart. It's in my list today over Nvidia and Bitcoin. I think those are the two hottest things right now. These are the two hottest things right now, Nvidia and Bitcoin. But the story says focus on Walmart. Walmart killed it as far as reporting earnings. Nvidia's anticipated strong earning in Bitcoin surge due to President-elect support highlight investor enthusiasm despite my skepticism about cryptocurrencies and blah, 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 blah. All right, so now, Daniel, let's go put this to the test. Let's go to the viewers tab. Big news. Here they are, NVIDIA, MSTX, IBIT, Google. Google's feeling that. MSTR is feeling that. Dell as a possibility of getting the ride up from NVIDIA, and Walmart. So which stories were we looking at specifically, Daniel? Just type them in the room. Which stories were we looking at specifically? SMCI is not in here. That's interesting. I needed to have that in here. SMCI. Let's go look at all of them. All right. So all of these were stories, whether they were blogs or whether they were stories. I see the move on NVIDIA no matter what. Green bar, even though it's closed, it means the price is lower than the open. All right, but still higher than the previous day's close. Overall, this is a 3-month graph. Yep, 3-month graph. NVIDIA still remains in an uptrend. And guess what? We did hit a new 3-month high today. All right. Let's keep going down the line. MSTX, big hit. Now, this was, this could be set up as a multi-trillion-dollar stock. Big down day. Big down day, but one day doesn't make a trend. Looking at the stock on a 3-month graph, bottom left, top right, relative value at 1, earnings per share, what else? RT is at 1.9. The stock has got a lot of momentum going on. I can draw a trend line. It's pretty steady up. Big down day, could be setting up for a candlestick formation of a bearish engulfing pattern. I need more information tomorrow to confirm that. But it is setting up, and again, a little bit of a shooting star pattern yesterday would follow through today and creating that bearish engulfing. The news says one thing, the VectorVest system says another. Let's go to the next stock in here. IBIT, I told you I added to it. Bottom left, top right, still moving up. Go to the next one, Google. Man, Google was already having a problem getting past the level of resistance here. The news today about having to cut that down. Big down day. Relative value is above 1. So that means that the company has the potential to still outpace the market. It is undervalued. Relative safety. Is it safe? Relative safety. It's at 1.5. It is a safe undervalued stock, but it's not rising in price. All right. It is a safe undervalued stock currently not rising in price. The news is one thing. The reaction to the news is another. This is important to me. Looking at the 3-month graph, a solid level of resistance that it hasn't been able to break above. Earnings per share still looks good. RV, the upside potential in the stock still looks good. But this news is probably pushing it down. Let's go see if it has the ability to overcome that. Dell. Good news for Dell benefiting from Nvidia. Love the move. Ryan and I looked at this yesterday. Nice open candle, no wick at the top. I definitely like to see it go above this 140, 147. Excuse me, before I go buy it. But Bottom left, top right on a 3-month graph, that level of resistance is so important. There's MicroStrategy, not the ETF. Looks just like MSTX. Looks just like MSTX. A lot of selling pressure yesterday. Shooting star followed through with the bearish engulfing pattern today. Let's go down to SMCI. Now, SMCI, could it be a buying opportunity? Notice that it broke through this most recent level of resistance. Now it's hanging out. Probably going to test that level of resistance as a level of support. Do I say go out and buy it right now? The answer to that is no. I do like the bump in earnings per share. I do like the movement of relative timing getting closer to the value of 1. But notice that for the last 3 months, the stock has been in a downtrend with RT below 1. I'd like to see it move up to this level of resistance and RT go above 1. I think big time for me, RT needs to go above 1. RT needs to go above 1 before I pull the trigger. I think anybody pulling the trigger now could be very, very premature. But if the stock goes up, you're going to look like a genius. All right? I'm not understanding you. VectorVest has a sell, not a buy on SMCI. And even though you have this information, you bought a lot of shares of call options. I didn't buy any shares on SMCI. What stock are you talking about, Augustine? What stock are you talking about? I have not bought on what stock. It's not on SMCI. I'm not touching SMCI yet, but I'm looking at it setting up behind the news, knowing that it's going to keep itself hopefully from being delisted, that it's got a new auditor. They got to get the books right. All right, they got to get the books right. Can you trust the earnings per share if the auditors had unanswered questions? Now, understanding when we're looking at earnings per share, it's based on the data that we have, and it's forecasted a year out. If the books come out to be all super jacked up, that earnings per share will be affected. All right, that earnings per share will be affected. Dell earnings is next week. All right, I do want to keep my eyes on that, George. Next stock, wow, Walmart. Walmart, out of all of these stocks we looked at, looks great. Way overvalued, though. Means a lot of people are putting a lot of money into Walmart, and people are willing to pay a premium to own it. And right now, those people are making out in the good because Walmart is killing it. Mukesh, hold off on the stocks, all right? Hold off on the stocks. I'm going to give you opportunities to look at a stock. Would you still add to Palantir? I do not own Palantir right now, and I gave you guys a price that I was looking for to get back into Palantir. PLTR. I got it on the graph. I'm not in Palantir right now. I think it's moving sideways. There it is. It's moving sideways. I'm looking to see it go above $66. I'm looking at probably putting in a buy order at $66.12. $66.12. Augustine said, I thought you said you had 60,000 gains on. That wasn't me. That was somebody in the room, Augustine. That wasn't me. That was somebody in the room that said that they made 60K on SMCI. I'm not ready to touch it. I told you what I'm looking for before I would think about buying it, and it definitely needs for RT to go above 1. I'm not on it. Phyllis says, I have SMCI January 17 calls. All I'm telling you is right now, if you are trading SMCI, I think that it's a bit premature. But you're taking a risk, and the risk could pay off. The risk could pay off getting in now. I'm not willing to take that risk right now. Alfreda said the same thing. Someone in the room said that, Augustine. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. All right, let's go back to the viewers. Eric says, sigh. What are you sighing for, Eric? Good gravy. You know that's a voice emoji, right? Let's go back to the main stocks. Now, for those of you who are looking for fish, here's my list of safe undervalued stocks rising in price. CLS, EME, Wix, Flex, ITIC. All of these are undervalued stocks, rising in price, good, fundamentally sound companies. The majority of them have double-digit earnings growth. Take a picture, whatever you need to do. These are good stocks. I mean, everybody's always looking at what's momentum, but I'm also going to give you good quality stocks to always keep your eyes on as well. For those of you who like swing trading, looking at the near perfect indicator, I've got 5 stocks for you as well. One of them is a sell. There it is. SMCI is coming up. as a swing trade opportunity. Undervalued, fundamentally sound, but we know why it's a sell. You know why it's a sell, because the stock has been beaten up over the books. But it's on the rise, and by way of the MPI, giving me some insight, possibly as a swing trade. Fitz says, loving EME, CLS, IESC, ISC earnings tomorrow. Let's go look at that on a graph. View the stock graph. Let's go put it on our earnings graph. Graph layout. I got to go find it. Where is it? Where's the, no. It's all the way up to the top. Oh, there it is. Earnings graph. IESC, bottom left, top right on 3-month graph. Big down day yesterday. Little spinning top going on today. Could be a bullish harami. Rising earnings growth. Sales growth is solid at about 31. Volume is drying up on it as far as conviction, relative safety. Nice level of 1.42. I think IESC has the ability to beat earnings and revenue. Sales growth, beat earnings and revenue. Forward guidance, again, I have no idea what the forward guidance is going to be, but I think that they beat both earnings and revenue. All right, what else do I have for you? Looking at the Star Search pinch, I got 5 stocks for you here: AER, HPQ, TDOC, Sava, and VSTS. You guys write this down, take a picture. These are more based on technical analysis, so the earnings growths may not look so good on these. I totally understand that. These are more technical plays by way of the Star Search. But again, all moving up today. Write them down, take a picture, keep your eyes on them. Only 2 of these stocks have relative values above 1. All right. Another top VST stocks that just had the 3-8 crossover. Top VST stocks just had a 3-8. ISC, AGX. Someone wanted me to look at AMSC. How about it made the list as far as aggressive picks? Looking at no, these are not off top VST. These are 3-8 crossovers. These are straight up 3-8 crossovers, but they're all fundamentally sound. Look at that. They're all fundamentally sound, and all of them have earnings growth double digits. Webull is an ETF. That's why it does have 0. But again, another list. These are 3-8 picks. Can you zoom in on your screen a little, please? I don't think I could do it in the software. I can't. I can't do it in the software. The only thing I can do, hold on, I'm going to do this. Go to layout. Let's move this. Let's go, I'll move it up a little bit. Move it to 20. Going okay. Going okay. That should help you out a little bit. Yes? All right, PB, that should help you out a little bit. I just made the font a little bigger. Would you buy IESC? Ooh, I would. Let's go right click, look at the stock graph. Look at the stock graph. You know, this is looking at a moving, what is that? That's a 20-day moving average. It's staying above even though it pulled back, hammer formation. Look at that move up. A little bit of a big bearish day, but still above the 20. Earnings per share, this is the earnings graph layout, but would I buy it? I need the stock. I need the stock to show me something, number one. Number two, that's where I'm looking to buy at the 3-month high. Or I'm going to put another line real quick. Here's another shorter term level of support. As long as it stays above that, then analyze that. That's it. Mukesh says, can you analyze AMSC? Did I not do that? No, I did not. AMSC is in the list. Again, 3-8 crossovers. Nice move today. I'm going to put this back onto the VectorVest layout. Look at that. Another stock that pulled back, but look at that nice run up, breaking through this level of resistance. Moving up nicely. RT moving up nicely. Where's volume? The volume picked up today over the last few days. So there's a lot of conviction behind the move. There's a lot of conviction behind the move. I do like the play. If I'm looking to get into it today, I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. It's about a week or so off of the 3-month high, but definitely moving higher. Why would you buy? What would you buy ISC at? Did I not just say that? I don't remember if I did. Did I not give a buy price on it? Right click, view the stock graph. I know there's a delay. Yeah, there you go. So would I buy right now in an uptrend? I would, but I would have headwinds right up here to this level of resistance. If we can get past that level of resistance, stock's price could go up nicely. But I do have, if you're in it, leave it alone. Leave it in. Leave it alone. Glenn, the website address for one free VectorVest stock analysis per week. Thanks in advance. Go to www.vectorvest.com/FSA. Frank Sierra Apple. All right, www.vectorvest.com. Joey, can you put that in the chat? FSA. Hello, Uncle Glenn. Misses you and you and hi, Amir. All right, please give your opinion. I already did that on MSTR and on SMCI. I already gave my insights on both of those stocks, Amir. I already did. So you might have to watch the replay to get that, but I already gave my insights on both those stocks. All right. So I'm giving fish along the way. Aggressive fish. These are stocks that are moving up in price today. Big time moving up in price. When I look at these, wow, SMCI found it again on another list. But a lot of times you're going to find a lot of medical stocks in here, and you do. But these are stocks, a couple of them have RVs above one. Again, take a picture, whatever you need to do. These are aggressive plays, and I've got aggressive plays on strictly on volume. IBIT, all I need to do is move over. I want to show you the move on volume. Look at that. Percentage of volume. These stocks are bigly moving up today, but on big volume. So that's IBIT, Mara. Again, I didn't look at Riot, but Mara made the list. Archer Aviation and SoundHound. Not only are these stocks up today, but they're up on big volume. So now I want to go to portfolios because as I was talking about Nvidia and the move on Nvidia, but they did talk about some of their partners in the earnings call last night. Oracle was mentioned, ServiceNow was mentioned, Dell was mentioned. I don't think Snow was mentioned, but let's take a look at all of these stocks. These are all, and this portfolio is up 29%. When I did the video back in April, when they did the conference of all of the companies that they were partnering up with, these were a lot of those names. 30%. ARM was mentioned last night. Hold off on stocks. I keep saying that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to ignore any other stocks that come up in the list. All right? I'm just going to do that. I want you to understand that right now I'm not writing any more of those stocks down. I will give you an opportunity to look at stocks. All right? But wait till I give you that. So I wanted to let you know that all of these companies, view the stock graph, all of these companies that NVIDIA is partnered up with. There's NVIDIA, there's Oracle, TSM, tough play right now, but still up in the portfolio. ServiceNow, nice bounce today. Apple, nice trend, moving up, fading a couple of gaps. RT is below 1. I'd wait for RT to go above 1. We talked about Dell. SAP is in the list. Again, all of these are moving for the most part, bottom left, top right. Nice move on NetApp. If I'm not in it, I'm looking at getting in somewhere 12 cents higher than high, and it's right there. It's right there. Not only is the stock's price going up, it's going up on very good volume. Very good volume. Johnny says, I'm a beginner and new member. Is there any training on different ways to buy and sell stocks? Joey, talking about that, yes. Do you have that link that Clay sent out? Because we have a Black Friday special on a lot of the different, /sale. All right, let me go there. Because that's a great question. I'm going to show you, we got a Black Friday special, Johnny, on a lot of the courses that we have. vest.com/sale. Okay. You want to learn different ways on knowing how to the best trade stocks. We have courses. All right. And the prices are on the courses. Go to, Joey is going to put that into the the chat for me. www.vectorvest.com/sale. And if you're already a subscriber and you've taken some of these courses, but you'd like to get the whole kit and caboodle, there's a price to get access to every single one of our courses. Every single one. All right, so look at that. Is there any training on different ways to buy and sell stocks? We've got a course on when to sell. Mastering moving averages for those that are tech people. ETFs, retirement for both the U.S. and for Canada. The keys to consistent stock market success. Options jumpstarter, precision swing trading, bottom fishing. So, Johnny, great question. Great question. And we are running a special. As you can see, the differences in the prices. We are running a Black Friday special on our courses that we have. I love that we have a beginner and a new member here, and this is what we're all about, helping you guys better learn how to use the software. We do have courses available, and they're at a discounted rate because of Black Friday. Wait, you're allowed to sell stocks, not just marry them? Mark, if I want, I should put you in timeout, but I'm not going to. All right, let's go. What other, I've got, what else did I want to look at here? I don't know if there's anything else I really wanted to look at. Trending Thursday picks. I don't think we have any stocks in here. We got one, EVGO, it's up 3%. Weekly picks. Every Monday, I give you my top 5 weekly picks. Look at the portfolio here, up 21%. Woo! Look at that, 21%. This was as high as 29%. I'm regrouping to get it back up. But these are stocks that I give you every Monday. If you're not tuning in to the Monday 6 p.m. video, this is why. Look at that run up. Top 5 weekly picks. All right, anything else in here I want to look at? Probably not. Oh, there is one. Remember when I was talking to you about the power issue with AI, and I like uranium stocks? Let's go see. I should have a portfolio in here for uranium stocks. Lithium, undervalued. That's going to be tomorrow's video. Stocks to rock your world. Uranium plays. There they are, 19%. I started this portfolio earlier this month, 11.5. Look at this, 19% in less than a month. SMR, 54%. VST, 38%. UEC, 16%. CCJ, 6%. Take a picture of these. Take a picture of these, and before anybody asks me, is it too late to get into any of these stocks, look at them on the graph. Look at them on the graph. All right. And this is, I know when I start to see these trends happen, I do the videos, and I love that I try to make these videos so that you can see when I did them and what they look like after I did them. I am a big fan of uranium. I'm a big fan of uranium, and this is why. Look at the equity curve. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stocks, 1 ETF, 9 stocks in the uranium space. I'm telling you, this is still just the beginning of the collaborations with AI companies and uranium. How do you feel about copper? Jen, I haven't recently looked at a lot of the commodities, all of the commodities. So I'm not going to, I'm the first one to not try to blow smoke up your butt where it don't belong. I'm the first one. If I don't know, I don't know. And probably I got to look at, see if it's worth it to do something on all the individual commodities. Now, how about, on Thursdays, I'm going to start giving you some stocks that I got on my radar. All right, stocks that I have on my radar. Amazon, New Holdings, Western Midstream, Clean Harbor, and Etsy. 5 stocks every week I'm going to try to bring and remember. These are stocks that I do research on my own. I'm not looking at nobody's stories, nobody's blogs. I just do some research to look for stocks that have great potential going forward. Notice that all of these stocks have RVs above 1. Just about everyone's got a VST above 1. Just about every stock's got an earnings growth above 1. So I do my research, And these are stocks that I always have in my back pocket, and I'm going to start to share some of those with you as well. How do you, Glenn, there are so many stocks hitting new highs today because the market's moving up. Does that mean you get scared of them? And the answer to that is no. That means the stocks are doing exactly what you want them to do, which is go up in price. All right. And if the market continues to move higher, let's go back to the market timing graph. If the market continues to move higher, then you have a high probability that those stocks continue to keep moving up. What is the ETF for uranium? It's URA. URA. That is the ETF. Where is it at? There it is. Global X Uranium. It's up 9.5%, where a lot of other stocks are doing much better. But if you want to play the whole space, that's not bad in a month's time to get 9.5% in the DAR. Nader? All right. So there you go. All right. Now I think it's time for us to look at your picks. I've got 3 that I wrote down. I'm going to probably take 10. So now is the time to type them in. AMSC, I'll still look at it. FTAI. CLBT is an Israeli data analytics company for law enforcement agencies. CLBT, Zeta, ZETA, Toast, GEV, OWL, CRS, Hood. I think Hood is going to be in tomorrow's video as well. Stocks that could rock your world. That's going to be tomorrow's video. Stocks that could rock your world. So here's 10 stocks. We only had 55 likes. The whole thing here, the deal is for every 10 likes we get, we look at a stock. So technically, for us to have been looking at 10 stocks, I needed 100 likes. Doesn't matter. I'm still giving you 10 stocks anyway. Now, just think about it. If we got 200 likes, that would be 20 stocks. But that didn't happen. So I'm just putting that out there. Out of 200 and some odd people, you guys should be able to get like 100 likes. But neither here nor there. Still giving you 10 stocks. On the list, Zeta is the only sell recommended stock. The stocks that have RVs below 1, GEV. Snow, even though it's moving so much, notice that it's not fundamentally sound. CLBT got an RV above 1 as well. Not fundamentally sound. Look at RV and RS on both those stocks. Snow is stock driven, is news driven. All right. Which is, stop putting mug up there in that code. Because that code, I don't know what that code. Singing is a bad business. Maybe for you, Lou, it is. Not for me. All right. Let's go take a look at the graphs of all these stocks. I think the NASDAQ is not taking sell orders for Toast. What a move. Let's go take a look. Robinhood. Robinhood has been making a big move because of crypto. A little bit of a reprieve today, but I'm not scared. I'm not telling you to panic. Not at all. I got a solid level of support, but leave it alone. One day doesn't make a trend. Let's go look at AMSC. Oh, didn't we look at this? I did like the stock. It broke through resistance nicely. Nice open candle, big volume. Got a little bit of wick at the top, but the body's much bigger than the wick. I'm okay with that stock right where it is right now. Wow, FTAI is one of the best looking stocks by way of graph in the database. And it has been. Put this on a 1-year graph. That is just beautiful. And notice that the stop price serves as a great level of support. How about the stock has been a buy for the whole year? Good. Googly muggly. I put this back on a 3-month graph. Next stock is Toast. Nice move. Now, a little bit of selling pressure. Look at the big wick at the top of the candle. Look at the big wick at the top of the candle. Red. A lot of volume. It's in line. Would I get nervous about holding Toast? Nope. One day doesn't make a trend. The stock's bounced off this level of support and has been moving up. It's in an uptrend. It is definitely in an uptrend. I'm okay with that. As long as it stays above that level of the trend line, I should be right. RSI, I bought it because the name Rush, which is my favorite all-time band. Didn't they do Tom Sawyer? Didn't Rush do Tom Sawyer? Yes or no? Didn't Rush do Tom Sawyer? Yes or no? CRS, 2 days down. 2 days down. But still overall in an uptrend. Now, if it breaks below this level of support or this level of uptrend, I'd probably think about taking some off the table. I'd probably think of taking some off the table. I still wouldn't panic, though, but I would lock in some profits. Owl, new 3-month high, pulled back, found a level of support, moving up. Volume is there. I like that. Little wick at the top, little wick at the bottom, but the body is so much more bigger. I like the move on Owl. All right, GE Verona, Energy Clean, still bottom left, top right, new 3-month high. Little bit of a closed candle. I'm looking at this level of support sitting at 329.76 as a level to take some profits off the table. All right, we're going to probably see if it comes down to test that level of support. Tom Sawyer, 1981, Moving Pictures Tour. You were there, I think you were 12 years old, Old Boston Garden. You went to the wrong place. You should have went to Madison Square Garden to see them. It would have been a better experience. All right, next stock, Snow, news-driven. That's all news-driven. Big gap. Gaps like to be filled, folks. Gaps like to be filled. I'd be careful with Snow. I do see the move up here, all right? But that's a big gap that's got to be filled. I'd be careful with Snow. Does that mean panic and get out? No. I'm going to look at halfway through this gap. I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to give you a level of support about 148.27. All I'm doing is looking at the distance in the gap. That's all I'm doing is looking at the distance in the gap to give you some semblance of taking profits. Even if you get out there and you were in back here, you're still locking in profits. All right, you're still locking in profits. All right, let's go to the next one. CLBT, bottom left, top right, pulled back hard, found a level of support, now moving up. I'm looking at that level of the high, the big wick, or I could look at the body. And if I'm looking at the body, it's breaking above that level of resistance right now. May not be a bad play. Volume is there as well. And the last stock in the list is Zeta. There's nothing I can say good about Zeta. Candlestick formation formed, shooting star with follow through. All right, shooting star with follow through and below the stop price, giving us a sell recommendation. All right. Now I'm done. I'm done 8 minutes early. Joey, can you put me on the last screen? I'm done 8 minutes early. I don't think I've ever been done this early. But we covered a lot of stocks. Joey's not listening. We covered a lot of stocks. I answered a lot of questions. IESC reports earnings in the morning, and I said CB, I think that they're going to have a high probability of beating earnings and revenue. The thing that I don't have control of to let you know about is forward guidance. That's it. That is it. My cousin went to MSG to see Rush in 1981. Funny you mentioned MSG. He lived in your favorite part of New York. That's Staten Island ain't my favorite part. I don't even think people live in Staten Island. I lived in Brooklyn. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. Zeta looks like an upside-down flagpole. Does the pattern work in the opposite direction? Probably, but I'm not. There's nothing that makes me feel warm and fuzzy about getting into Zeta. Mohammed Samir, Clean Energy somehow are in trouble. Anyway, just play. Okay, is that someone in there talking? That's fine. All right. Joey, can you take over and stay here till the market closes since Glenn is leaving us? What's Joey going to talk about? What's Joey going to talk about? I want to know. Inquiry minds want to know. What is he going to talk about? I've got it to you. He doesn't even want to play time. I have relatives in Bensonhurst. Yeah, I was born and raised in Crown Heights. All right. With that being said, folks, thank you for joining me today. There was, again, a lot of stocks covered, a lot of hotness, a lot of coolness, all that stuff. All right. Ryan's got the 6 p.m. video tonight. Make sure you tune in for that. Again, we do a lot of stuff on this channel. Do what you can to support the channel. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. I got to go. I got to go record tomorrow's video. Stocks to rock your world. That's what it's called. Stocks. Make sure you tune in for the Friday 6 p.m. video. Stocks to rock your world. How many of you want to get your world rocked? Just type a 1 in the room. All right. How many of you want to get your world rocked with some stocks? Just type a 1 in the room, because that's what tomorrow's video is going to be all about. The way you don't want to get your world rocked, Joey. I heard you belch, by the way. Sigh. Are you all right? Are you passing out? Oh, all right. Will you be hosting Jockey Club tomorrow? No, I didn't blow it off last week. I had the special presentation. That's why I didn't do it. But yeah, I'll be in the Jockey Club tomorrow. All right. Y'all want to get your worlds rocked? Make sure you watch tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Praying for people all over the world. A lot of stuff going on around the world globally. Always remember, look out for your neighbor. Help them up. Give them a hand up. Because if we do that, we'll be a better society. Odabu. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.